Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Adjacent. Very near, next to, or touching. Our tailgate is adjacent to the left field fence. ADJACENT. Adjacent.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. Yummy, yummy to my tummy. Who do we have today?
Oh my
in
gosh,
studio?
we have the bracket busters.
Bracket busters. We're so excited.
We have the owners of Moderna.
Guys, we are so glad you're here. We are big fans of what you are doing over in the old Cover 3 spot.
Yes.
Next to on West 6, almost to Mopac, but
Walking
not quite
distance to Mean-Eyed Cat.
Yes. You can walk to Mean-Eyed Cat on 5th,
Yeah.
and y'all are on 6th.
Yep. Yes.
Oh my gosh. How did y'all get that spot?
Well, that was interesting. So we actually were looking at spaces on East Side and working with the same landlord developer. And also he came to us, there were some logistic issues with their new building for us to build it out. And he said, hey, would you guys be interested? We have the space available at old Cover 3, third base. And we're very familiar with it. We know the owners, both operators. And so we said, yeah, let's look at it. So they had a tenant, they bought the building. Laney's used to own the building, and they sold to another investor group, and then they bought it back, and they inherited another concept in there. It was going to be a Japanese concept. And long story short, they went default on their lease obligations, and they said, hey, it's available, so let's go look at it. And then they cured the default, and it was off the table. And then they called us 3 months later and said, would you guys be interested again? And we said, yeah, let's really look at the space. So we did. We walked the space and we said, yeah, I think we can make this work. The vision we had to lay out the space. And we went to work and, went through our lease negotiations, and here we are.
Oh my gosh. By the way, gorgeous restaurant.
That's
you
how
designed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we first started the project, Mike has got extensive background in construction, but he had a vision that started years back. And we were going to start as just a kind of a basic pizzeria. And Mike's, one day we were at spending some time in the country, and he says, I got a bigger vision. He says, I really feel like we need to go to elevated, traditional Italian. We didn't want to go white linen. I grew up back east, so the red checker tablecloth was something that we had always admired and respect. But when he talked about it, there was just kind of this very strange, how were you going to get to elevated without showing off like you were a steakhouse? And Mike took over the complete command of the interior design, the colors, the lighting, and it just, if it's one thing, we hit it on the head. Was the ambiance from the time you step in the door, there's the whole feel and the vibe of the place is exceptional.
It is gorgeous, you guys.
It is. It's
Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Did your daughter do the painting?
No, my niece actually did the painting of Queen Margarita. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a niece, commissioned her to do the painting. She's
gorgeous.
An amazing illustrated artist. She's only 21 years old. She was 20 at the time. And when I first talked to her, and I'll tell you what, this was her biggest project or biggest painting she's ever done, and had a vision what I wanted. And then we talked about added the margarita pizza, her holding margarita pizza. Obviously there's not a picture of her holding margarita pizza, so put that in there, and she just nailed it. I mean, I'm so proud of her, and she just was always so nervous and not didn't want to disappoint me, make me proud. So I think she hit it out of the park. She did an amazing job. She really did.
So for those of you,
and the lighting and everything.
The lighting.
That was specially set up because Queen Margarita, a lot of people in Leo, and we'll talk about him in a bit, really set this up. It's just not a Neapolitan shop. We worked hand in hand with the guys at Barton Springs Mill. James Brown worked with Leo Pizzeria to bring forth the dough that we create and we put forward, as along with the pastas and the breads. But everybody was like, what's this thing with the margarita? So in the Neapolitan world, Queen Margarita is the pie, if you will, the cheeseburger in paradise that all is judged by. And Mike and I said, man, they do pretty good with that sign that says "I love you a bunch," on the Cho's Coffee Shop. And we thought we need something that you can get your picture next to, and it does. It's a conversational piece and an educational piece, and people really get into the story, and it's why it is the very first pie on our pizza section.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have not been, and by the way, kick yourself right now because you need to go, but they have this floor-to-ceiling beautiful painting of Queen Margarita over by the restrooms. And by the way, your restrooms?
I know. I was going to talk about your restrooms.
We even got to go toward the guys' restroom.
I know, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning.
Patrick showed us on one of y'all's, when y'all were closed.
Right.
Yeah.
He showed us.
He did a full tour. We got to go into
Yeah.
this
Just like you had
and
to see
everything.
it. Yeah.
So
And bathrooms are so important.
They
People forget
are.
about
Yeah,
them.
isn't it great? When Leo got on board with us, he really wants to win the James Beard Award out of the restaurant.
Absolutely.
I worked hand in hand with Mike on the design of the actual bar. We love the horseshoe-shaped bar.
I love a horseshoe.
I love
we
that you'll
go.
have two
We
bars.
love the shoe.
I love
Yes.
that you'll have
You
two
have your
bars.
pizza bar and you have your drink
Beautiful.
bar.
Yeah, so the original bar
George.
from Cover 3 got converted. The Mara brothers that actually built the oven for us, we wanted to centerpiece it. So we built the, if you will, the alcohol bar. Leo wants to win a James Beard Award. And Mike stood quietly in the corner just smiling. He goes, wait till you see these bathrooms I've put together.
Nice.
Of course, the ladies' restroom, just
Sexy.
pink, chandeliers.
Gorgeous.
The showgirls.
That's
Yes.
exactly what it is. And,
Way to go, you guys.
Thank you very much.
That's
Yeah.
very sexy. It feels like
Yeah.
you're walking into, like a spa.
So
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to achieve.
that every time I go in, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great. But I have to tell you, we are recommending this restaurant
Everybody.
to everybody.
Everybody.
I was getting my teeth cleaned at the day, and my hygienist goes, "My dad's in town. Where should I go?" And I was like, "You got to go to Moderna. It's
everywhere.
Thank you so much.
Every
Like,
birthday.
hands
You have a
down.
birthday? Moderna.
Moderna. Your dad's in
Moderna.
town." And I said, "And sit at the
Moderna.
bar.
Yeah.
Sit at the
Sit
bar.
at the bar. Sit at the bar.
I love it.
Yeah, birthdays are big special things for us too. We have a specialized pastry chef. Daniela also works with all of our bread and all of our doughs. And we just kept getting more and more people coming in for the special occasion, and what Mike and I had set it up to be. So we actually have a specialty dessert that we serve just for the birthdays,
lovely.
along with all the other great desserts that we have.
Oh my gosh.
That's wonderful. Y'all nailed it. Y'all
You're
hit it out
nailing
of the
it.
park.
You're nailing it.
Thank you.
Okay.
It feels like I love Chicago, and it feels like Chicago
It feels
to
a
me.
little-
We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
New York, Chicago,
Yeah,
Northeast.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
We
you do-
wanted that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get some
wanted
critics
that
in there.
experience.
It's usually the first thing out of their mouth. I'm from New York. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
And we have scored huge points and accolades. And again, still because we were from and we are Austinites.
Yes.
We wanted to keep the place at a point where you could come for that special occasion. Inside, outside, you can sit in a private booth. You can sit at the pizza bar like you talked about
yeah.
and watch the craft be done right there in front of
right
what
there.
we love to affectionately call Texas Gold, our
Yes.
big oven.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That
or
oven.
if you just need to
Gorgeous.
gather some time at the bar with a friend, we serve a full meal over there as well.
Yes. I love that. Okay. Tell us your history with your restaurant, how you guys have,
How long have you been in Austin?
yes, and all of that.
The two of us arrived in the late 70s, early 80s. Mike's family came through the Lockheed and California deal, and my dad was a pilot at Bergstrom. So, we got here when Austin was small, and the Dillo was still alive and well, and live music as it was back in the day. We ended up waiting tables
You
together.
know who Leslie is.
Leslie was a very big fan of, I used to own Momo's above Katz's.
yeah.
Oh,
And, Leslie used to eat
man.
breakfast every morning at
Oh,
Katz's,
my
and we would see him during the build-up.
God.
Fantastic human being.
Yes.
Yeah. So when Mike and I ended up at the age of 15, as Mike did, getting into the industry early, I started waiting tables out in Westlake at a place called Tres Amigos when we were the only game in town. And then this guy shows up
For
from
sure.
California, and it was a hopping place back in the day. Yeah, the
yes.
business was incredible. We were both on the wait staff together. We were trained by some of the best. And a couple years later, that evolved into us coming up with this crazy idea to do a piano bar on East 6th Street. Pete's.
Yes.
Yes. And at the time, it was affectionately known as Pete's Peanut Bar and Piano Emporium. We used to do the peanuts and shells on the floor. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike, again, in his early construction phase, did 99% of the construction. We held hammers in hand and worked alongside.
No,
and
I love Pete's Piano
to this
Bar.
day, that signature is still there. We were just too damn poor to afford an art designer, so the original Pete's was my hand script with a little back shadowing on it. And we were very fortunate when we did sell it a couple years later. A couple of the people that started with us still currily own it today, 33, 34 years later.
34 years, yeah.
Wow, you guys.
Yeah, so our regional manager now is an owner-operator, and he's got have 6 locations now.
That's incredible.
Does very well.
Yeah.
And so then I went off and did Iron Cactus. So started Iron Cactus. We bought the building down there. It was an old building. It was 3 different operators at the time. So we were a landlord, I think, for almost a year and a half, 2 years, and then developed the Iron Cactus concept in there. And it started as a cactus room and then evolved in Iron Cactus. And then Chris went off and he stayed more into the bar business, and he opened multiple bars. And then we did Iron Cactus, and then grew that concept. And we're in Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, 3 locations there, and then acquired Carlson Charlie's, and then I was owner operator of Carlson Charlie's, and then with floods and droughts and everything else in between, and it was like we decided, you know what, I think we've had enough fun over here, and so focused on that, and then took over ZTOS and was running that for a while, and then sold interest out of that, and then Chris and I got together and just for a conversation, catch up and lunch. And he was interested in doing something. His partner went off to do other things. My brother-in-law partner was kind of done with opening new concepts. And we started just talking on what can we do together. And it started out as a taco burrito, the business plan I wrote a long time ago.
Very small.
And we did a bunch of research, and I was like, let's do pizza. And then with the pandemic, we saw this growth in pizza. It was just unbelievable, you know. I think there was actually a surge, you know. There were people that did, 10, 20% pickup delivery were doing 70%, you know. It just that industry grew, and we found it very intriguing and interesting. And both of us love pizza and everything. And we started doing a bunch of research and went Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Atlantic City, Chicago.
I want to go
went
on
all
that
over the place.
We've been to more pizza expos. And as Mike beats down the road a little bit, our experience, he actually bumped into me at one of my bars. I was in the old Spaghetti Warehouse building. I owned 6 Lounge and the Hangar Lounge across the street. He was on a resurgent deal. I met in 2008, and we just kind of kept building it. And like we said, we went to a crazy pizza expo and said, I think we might like this world.
Yes.
Again, being from back east, but it was another big hurdle. So much a hurdle. We saw who we wanted on the team, being Leo Pizzeria, and Leo is from Chicago.
Oh my!
Yeah, he is one of only 2 maestros in this country. The other has an empire
I met him.
on the West Coast.
He's incredible.
Chef Leo is incredible. Just to tell you too, Leo's got his new book coming out this May.
Lovely. Yeah.
Pizza Love. But when we first saw him, it was at a huge convention, and we could not get a word in with him. So we found out he was going to be at a small expo out on the Jersey Shore. Mike and I grabbed a flight, took a train out of Philly, and there we ended up, and he was at the end of the bar through just sheer luck. Followed in the weekend and finally got a visit with him. 2.5 years of cultivation. And he was doing some stuff in Chicago, and we finally got him here to Texas. And we said, you got to come down and see what Texas is all about, because everybody has their preconceived notion. So he came down in August, brought the wife.
It's like,
I
don't do tacos.
No.
Well, he's a huge music fan as well.
Oh, good.
And we got him to every place we could put him in at the Continental and some of the.
Introduce you to the
and he fell
pub.
in love with Austin. So he developed the menu along with Mike. I did the alcohol side. It's a lot of Texas recipes with some Italian flair and vice versa, to kind of keep it cool. And once we had put the 3 heads together, we really understood that there was a true Italian that could give us the validity as operators. We knew we could pull this off, but you had to have the right menu to do it. So, and we felt like we've hit it out of the park on that.
Wow.
Location, menu, friendship. Y'all been together for how long?
Oh, there will be a next Netflix
years.
Documentary, for sure.
42 years. 42 years.
Wow.
We were
18, 19, something of the sort.
18 or 19 when we first met.
And we just kind of shared a common mindset.
Yeah.
You put your nose to the grindstone. There's nothing beneath us, kind of thing. And building a culture in all the businesses we did, both good and bad. And we lived through the pandemic and saw what it did, like Mike mentioned, to the pizza world. And that industry actually survived because it was a natural takeout.
It's essential.
Yeah.
Essential workers.
Well, that's yes. A lot of pizza went to a lot of places in boxes. Yeah, and that was really that's the next step for Mike and I, is to really build our takeout service where pizza is the influence with some of our salads and that. To core up the first 90 days of operation, it was a complex deal to build from the kitchen out, bar out. Which we feel like we have that in place now. So our next jaunter is to really capture. If you can't make it for the experience, it's just you're driving by on 6th, because the Neapolitan style, we cook in what we call heritage post-Neapolitan style. That pizza dough that you taste, that you come in for the experience, is available to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're excited about having our black pizza box in your refrigerator.
Yeah. Well, I do
on.
love that y'all have like a way to get lunch and everything. You just walk in.
Right
get
through the back door.
Right there. Back door.
And that's kind of like a speakeasy
It
kind
is.
of
It does feel like a
entrance
speakeasy.
that we try to create its own
We were
little
so excited
space.
because
smart.
y'all had hours because of the takeout.
Yeah.
We thought we could go for lunch. And that's when Patrick gave us the bathroom tour.
Okay.
And we were like so excited. We were like, oh my gosh, we could go for lunch.
But you
it was
can get lunch
to
there.
go.
And
Yeah,
it's so nice.
Friday, Saturday,
especially in those
Sundays,
areas.
we offer lunch 11:30 to 3.
Okay.
So we have a abbreviated menu. All our pizzas are available, and then we do some
Nice.
combinations, half pasta portions with salad, a choice of salad or soup, and then we do some other. We did an
Lovely.
amazing pizza sandwich that it's the
my
best
God.
I think
Pizza
I ever had.
sandwich.
It's
That sounds
incredible.
delicious.
We actually
So we offer
use the
that.
pizza dough
Yeah.
that we use for our pie.
That air.
And Leo
that
just,
delicious
again,
air.
he's 100% creativity. You don't see anything like it. But again, extremely light. I
It's
can't
so
tell you how
light.
many people we have come in and compare it. They've made the trip to Italy. It's the biggest comparison because
So
we
sweet.
cook from scratch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our pastas, our breads.
You can
our
smell
dough.
it.
Yeah.
And you can taste it.
It's so
We have
good.
more people to come in that have had some type of intolerance to anything with big preservatives and everything. And because we were natural from the beginning, we've had many gluten people who have said, "My God, thank you. I was in Europe and I could eat the pastas and the breads in Italy, and I
pizzas,
finally
yeah.
found some place here."
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we know personally
What a
people had
compliment.
gluten intolerance issues, and they eat our pizza and pasta had no issues. So it's
That's
something
wonderful.
to be
Just
proud to
because there's-
say.
that's
Because we don't have all the
amazing.
preservatives.
Yeah.
Our ingredients
That's
come
right.
from flour, comes from Italy, and we make everything in house. So we don't have all the
That's
preservatives.
incredible.
So yeah.
Nice.
And we just recently
Killing it.
expanded our pickup and delivery hours. Now we're
Yeah,
11:30
yeah.
till 10, Monday through Saturday, and the Sundays we close at 9.
Okay.
So we don't have the close like we did before from 3 to 5, because we are a scratch kitchen. So we have to reset up the line and everything, and we have a lot of prep we do during the day, obviously, for that, since
But
everything is scratch.
I think a
than
scratch
most kitchens.
kitchen, like in this day and age,
And we got to
like
tour
that's what
the
everybody
kitchen.
needs. Yeah, we got to tour the kitchen. It was so beautiful.
It
Yeah,
was
great.
so
clean.
spotless.
Yeah, we
well,
take
because we're
pride-
used to
pride
cover
in
3,
that.
and cover 3 is not that clean.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
No, I bet y'all had to
Yeah.
gut that. I mean, y'all gutted that
Yeah, but
place.
we do have a lot of people that when we have the time, we love to take them through and show. A lot of people think that pizza's far more simple. And if you buy it out of a box, I'm imagining it is. But to see our actual dough room that's climate controlled, the temperature of the water is controlled. This is all under strict supervision of a maestro that understands about making dough. That particular oven runs at 700 degrees, and our pizza takes about 2.5 minutes on a turn, whereas typical good Neapolitan pizza in the world cooks for 90 seconds at 900 degrees. But we didn't really prefer that very wet, floppy dough. There's guys out there that do it straight up, and it's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ours has a thicker bottom to it. Mm-hmm. So when you do pick it up, it's actually, you can fold it.
It holds its shape.
Yeah,
it holds its body.
More rigid undercarriage is what we call it, a little crispier.
Wow, you guys.
So that's,
we
try to create our own lane. Yeah, like we are on the lane of the dough.
That oven that you see sitting in the middle of the dining room was actually devised to match up with the dough that we make.
Wow.
The way, it's a rotating stone. The temperature is always consistent. Keeping a 900-degree temperature is kind of a wicked factor when you're dealing with the bulk hours, the Fridays and the Saturdays. Consistently, our pizza that you get at 5 o'clock in the afternoon is the same one you get at 7 o'clock, the same one you get at 8 o'clock, the same one you get at closing. And like I said, the same thing with the pastas. We do a table side pasta in our shop.
We've had it.
Yeah.
So
have
good.
It has become
y'all's
the number one selling pasta.
For sure.
People
y'all's
love to see
it is phenomenal.
They love to see the cart come out.
Oh my God, the cart.
And we kind of make a joke. Out come the cameras. It's like the caveman the first time you ever saw fire.
No.
Yeah. We just
it was the first time I ever experienced it.
You haven't seen it
really
done
good.
in the wheel like that?
I've never seen it.
So we actually have to order the wheels from Italy. They take a couple of weeks to get here, so we stay in front of that. And then the way that our guys that actually do the show tableside, it's a small blend of brandy that gives you that allows you to make the cheese melt. Adding the fresh pasta from the back of the house makes for a great show.
So good.
We
it
laugh.
makes for a beautiful show. It feels like you're traveling.
Yes.
That's what we
That's
wanted.
like a vacation.
It was something I saw in Italy and Florence probably 8 years ago, and I put in my Rolodex of ideas. And so I would love to do that at our restaurant someday.
Yeah.
I've always had a vision of doing an Italian restaurant. My mom's side family's from Italy, and I take pride in that and the heritage and everything. So we spent a lot of time in Italy over the years, and my nephew just got married there last May in the Tuscan region.
Oh, lovely.
So, we have a lot of pride in the heritage, and Italian food's always been my heart and soul.
You see that even moving forward. Mike really wanted ossobuco on the menu, and it is amazing. The people that go, my God, you have that on the menu. The wild boar ragu made just like it is in Florence, Italy. Our risotto and our arancini balls made just like they are in northern Italy. And we consistently see those items going out, and we consistently get the feedback on the quality. We know we've hit it on the head.
Y'all nailed
you
it.
guys,
And your salads are fantastic as well.
We appreciate that. Yeah. A lot of creativity.
What's your favorite salad?
Yeah.
I love a Caesar salad.
Yeah,
Caesar
okay.
to me is like,
that is what we
and I'm
do
very
like
picky
a
about my
challenge.
Caesar salad.
Are
and
you?
You're all,
You and about 1,000 other people.
Yeah.
It's the dressing.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely comes
But
down
also
to
the
dressing.
Christmas. It has to be crisp.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Fresh and crisp.
Yeah.
I agree.
We work very hard on that.
that remained for
Even in the
sure.
beginning, you were like, wow, there's a lot of opinions about the best Caesar, and our chefs over and over and over again dialed in on that, like they have with every plate. Even our portion sizes, our chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan. Mike devised a 20-layer lasagna. In the beginning, it was 50.
I saw somebody eating that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is incredible.
Well, we like to proclaim if we see the chicken parm or the lasagna hit the table, we're like, no shame in a to-go box at our shop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every
Go ahead
time.
and deliver the to-go box.
And people, we love to keep it, when we say keep it fresh, and, again, we live in Austin, Texas. Mike and I spent a lot of time touching the tables. Seeing that everybody got the experience at Moderna that we wanted you to experience when you came in. Yeah. So have you ladies had our limoncello yet?
I have not.
Okay. So when you come in, what we, as an approach, our host team will pick up on, our servers will pick on, especially if you're a first-time diner in our place. It gives us an opportunity to do, I've been in Prague.
Leticia had it,
yeah,
and
Venice,
she
and
raved about it. She put it on
true.
her social media.
Yes.
She's a big foodie.
That was something that during the pandemic, when everybody else was making sourdough, I was piddling with the limoncello, and Mike kept laughing. He goes, hey, mad scientist.
After 20 different batches.
20 different batches,
At least, I would
You're like,
say.
I think you figured it out.
Yeah, I think we finally got it. So don't touch anymore. I like it.
That's
It's good.
right.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, I had a little, with Leo because, again, blending Texas and Italy together. In Italy, they make it a 100% grain alcohol. The American palate, not quite used to that.
Yeah.
So we said,
Too much bite.
We're
Yeah,
dainty.
yeah.
We're dainty.
Yes, dainty people. The Italians, and I went forward and I used female focus groups to start with my flavor tasting. And we ended up with Texas vodka. And then, Leo had it a couple of times. He goes, I love it, but you got to give me some Italy in it, man. So it's 80% Texas vodka, 20% grain alcohol.
Wow.
We actually, it's all handmade at the shop. We do our own lemons. We do our own milking of the skins, if you will. And we do it too. We want you to have that experience. And it gives us an opportunity at the end of the meal to make sure that we hit it all on the head for you. And people seem to have taken to it quite well.
I have to say this. We love artists. We love musicians. Y'all have made this an art.
Yes.
This is
100%.
Just listening to your passion about the food and y'all's experiences. This is an installation.
Yeah,
well, that's a super compliment for us because a lot of people, whether it be investors, I mean, even the lawyers, they'd sit and stare at you for a couple seconds and they're like, this wasn't like a thought you came up with yesterday. I said the evolution of where we went, the time, the energy, the money, finding someone as astute as Leo is to bring the craft. We knew we had the operation side. We thought we could handle that. But if you want to get to that level, you've got to come with authenticity, genuineness, and it is a fun story to tell. When people, they look and they go, wow, you aren't just some guys that came out of a chain restaurant and decided. I'm like, absolutely not. You see it in the passion, like you said, with Mike's construction phase, all the way to the bathrooms, it's right down to the desserts that we serve.
Yes.
We wanted it to be true to heart. As Mike said, we've spent a lot of time in Italy. We serve a tremendously large piece of chocolate cake, and right behind that is what is olive oil cake. And again, limoncello just kind of springs into all our stuff. We started putting some of the limoncello into the deal, and we came up with a whole new dessert design. The tiramisu is out of this world.
That's what I had. The tiramisu. It was so good.
There we go.
So delicate
but y'all's
and beautiful.
friendship is what is inspiring me so much. That y'all been doing most restaurant people. We were restaurant people. We
waited tables and stuff.
We've owned a restaurant, and it's like we understand the.
I think it's crazy to own a restaurant. I think you have to be a little masochist.
What's so nice about what you said is it's a lot of people. Mike has millions of stories where people come to us and said, "Oh, I made a lot of money. I want to get in the restaurant business." I'm like, "No, you don't.
It's hard.
It's you're either built to do this, and like I said, even the first day we waited tables together.
I love that y'all waited tables.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we from ground up. I started in the back of the house making catfish and hush puppies, and I would come home smelling like it. And
I bet.
about 8 months later, it was a small shop at the Y and Oak Hill, but I was only 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I had to have a work permit to do it.
The wagon?
And Mike did the same. It was actually the Catfish Barn.
Catfish Barn.
Yeah, we did family style, and I got tired of smelling like that. I was making $2.
Nobody wants to smell like fish.
No.
My parents used to make me take off the clothes
not
in the
on the
laundry
list.
room.
Not
On the list. And I ended up taking, I said, I got to do something else. And I went out to Westlake, and they had a busing position available. And I thought, my God, I get a 50-cent raise, and I don't smell like fish anymore. But, you earned your stripes real fast.
Yes.
And that's where Mike and I, if you say that's the passion and the friendship was,
I love
we work hard
friendship.
and we respect every level of the restaurant, where a lot of, and it is what it is. People saw us doing construction, pulling 5 miles of Cat 5 cable out of a ceiling, and had electricians looking at us like, "You two own the joint. What do you know? You do the work that everybody does.
You gotta
We're
go
not
to
beneath anybody, so that's the kind of culture we try to create. So.
Right.
What part of town do you live in?
I actually took up residency in the little village of Buda, Texas.
Okay.
Where do you live?
Yeah, I'm in Lakeway.
Okay.
Yeah. It was that deal that we had lived all over Austin. And, we saw the expansion and the expansion. And we had always kind of been around the downtown 6th Street area, then the warehouse district for me.
Yeah.
And God, we saw massive changes in that in the last
it's crazy.
10, 12 years.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, everything's a high rise now.
That's bizarre.
It really has.
Yeah. Where did you go to school?
I went to high school here at 2 high schools. I went to Crockett High School, and then
born on Manchester CA, greatest school in this state.
Oh wow, you do remember that?
Yeah. Our brother and sister went there. And then we went to all the football games and everything.
Yeah, and then I got caught in one of the big busing orders, and went across town, and it actually was an incredible experience.
To where?
Johnston. To Johnston.
That's where we were.
Oh Lord,
we're Rams.
Oh, wow, this is getting to be a small world. So yeah, when the busing order first came down, we from the southwestern side of town got bussed with everybody from the Northwest Hills area.
We're Rams.
How was that?
Yes,
we're southeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other side of the highway ended up going to Travis.
Yeah.
But our experience at Johnston was incredible.
Incredible. We love that.
Yeah. And incredible. That was, they always say...
they stopped busing her senior year.
I was going to say.
My senior year. Her junior year.
My junior year.
Yeah.
We're sisters.
We literally got there when they had just... Finished. Well, they put a new auditorium on there. Whatever we wanted. Oh, you want a new gymnasium? We'll build it. We'll build it. But... it being Austin, there was that pattern. They said never in Boston, but always in Austin, where they took 3 of the most diverse groups of people.
That was beautiful.
Cat Mountain and Northwest, East Side, the folks who lived there, and they blended them together. And I had a fabulous experience.
We did too.
It was incredible.
We loved that.
And then Mike and I, we both went just south of Buda to San Marcos when it was Southwest Texas State University.
Bobcat.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Southwest.
I was on the dance team.
Oh, wow.
Shelly was a strutter.
The strutters, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. You have video on that?
I had like
all the sequins and the sparkly hats and the white boots.
I danced at the Oilers game.
Oh, very cool.
Well, it's our joke is even when Mike and I have had the opportunity, going to San Antonio to this other restaurant, and we'll come back. San Marcos is a town. It's so big now. The university is just sprawled out.
It's a beautiful university.
It really is. Yeah, I was a journalism major, so I got back into Old Main the very first year they renovated it. It was the steepest walk of any place on the campus.
Gosh, that was a workout.
Yeah, but I continued to work, and when I went to school down there, I came back every weekend to work at Tres Amigos. Got out of that, and then I cut my teeth.
You knew where your money was.
Yeah.
Well, you got out of school, and it was either a bust or a must in Austin, depending on what year it was. Mm-hmm. And I went to work for the guys at Trudy's when Trudy's was in its heyday.
Why did they shut down Trudy's?
It grew. I worked at Southern Star when Ray Henning's music and all the old school there on South Lamar was still
Isn't that crazy, you guys?
And I ended up at a place before Mike and I built Pete's at a place called Lakeview Cafe. The building is no longer physically there, but where the hula hut and all that is.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be a park across the street. But I learned a lot through some of the old mentors in Austin. And Mike called me up one day, and we had a crazy idea at the short story. We flew to Arizona to look at a plane. We thought, maybe it'd be cool to build a restaurant in a plane. We went to Tucson and went, maybe not a great idea. We got back to the hotel at Camelback, and we're in the pool, and we're like,
some crazy video.
Yeah, maybe a piano sing-along bar.
I think y'all might have been doing a little something.
No, it was that flight and drive, and I was like, how are we going
to get this back to
Austin? Well, we had a grand idea.
I love it. I love it. I would love to see all your journals, like everything y'all write down. Where did you go to school?
I actually graduated in California at Cupertino High School. So I moved here right after my graduation in high school, and my sister had 1 year left at Westlake, so she had her senior year at Westlake.
Cute.
So so we came here, and then, like I said, we went to work. My first job at Tres Amigos. I was working construction, going to school full time, and commuting. Actually, the first semester, because I moved here after I missed registration, so I had to go ACC first semester and then transfer over to
He's
Southwest.
Never not had 2 jobs and 3 other projects going at one time. Mm-hmm. And that is kind of the passion play.
Yes.
It does look incredible. But people ask me all the time, I said, if it's one thing Mike and I have is a very big understanding of where the strengths and the departments are. And, if Mike said pick up a hammer and knock a wall down, that's what I did. But he also was on the other side of the coin, working with the engineers, working with the deal. That building we were in is 18 years of beatdown from 2 restaurants. So we literally took it to the studs and told ourselves, man, it's going to cost us more money than we had anticipated because these air conditioners are going to last, another 2 years? We gutted the whole thing.
You did.
Yeah. And that again, 99.9% of it on his. Our joke was too. There was somebody involved in the beginning, just from the interior design side, and man, I just kept looking and like, does that light really cost that much?
It's so expensive.
The joke was we were calling our friend Jeff at that place that sells everything in the world. And Mike was up at nights looking for everything from wallpaper to light kits, and Amazon became his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we had to build a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, when people look and laugh, down to every picture you see hanging over the booths, Mike was meticulous about how they laid out, where they laid out. We're not a lot of fun to go to dinner with because we're looking under tables and table legs, and our ladies
critics.
Are like we're critics of everything. But because we do demand the best out of this, and we're very passionate, and we feel like that shows in the restaurant. That is, again,
it shows.
Yeah.
It shows,
yeah. And we appreciate that.
And I think it's so important for y'all to share this side of it, for people to know that this is blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
this
a lot
is
of
blood,
that.
sweat, and tears,
Yeah.
and because I feel that when I come into a restaurant, it's like, oh, this is a
put
passion.
effort into
This is a passion.
Stuff,
we have an incredible culture with our management team and the
Yes.
guys that run the store, but they know that we are always there. One, to cover their back. Two, the presence of an owner on site is not something that is there every day anymore.
That's right.
When I've seen you, I haven't seen you there.
Yeah.
No offense, but I've seen you there, and you're knee deep. You're doing it all.
You're doing
You're
it.
not.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
an owner going.
Hey, no.
We've known a few of those,
Yeah.
and we do have people that work for us that appreciate, the underbelly of, man, you guys, you'll pick up a plate, you'll box a meal, you'll do what you have to do,
You'll
and
run some food.
Yeah, and as we grow stronger,
Go.
that team gets bigger and gets better.
Well,
so.
I'm going to tell you, I know, I can only assume, but being a restaurant owner in Austin, as it is changing and diversifying, and it's expensive to have restaurants, the rent is insane.
Construction costs, rents,
Yeah.
is, I mean, to
All the
what it took
permits.
15, 20 years ago to build now, it's I would say it's at least 2.5, 3 times.
Yeah.
At least, to build, like you said, rent has gone up,
It's
property
crazy.
taxes, and all your expenses, no doubt about it. I mean, it could get away from you very easily.
Very
So we're
easily.
very
that was
budget conscious. We got hit with some unknowns, so what they call unknowns, when you go into existing building, and we did get hit with a lot of those, like Chris touched on, we replaced all the HVAC units. I mean, they still had life in them, but we felt like, 2 years, 3 years, like you said, we don't
in
want to
Austin,
interrupt
you
business,
gotta
so we
have good
decided to. So we
AC.
replaced all the equipment, all the refrigeration, studs in the kitchen,
And the
then
gas
touched
lines.
every other
Yep.
part of the restaurant. And we even did the exterior facade, as you know, that we re-bricked it, laminated it, and changed it because we want to have our brand identity. It was very important. That was actually a must with our landlord. That I think a lot of mixed use complexes, your identity gets lost. It's inside the 4 walls, and you just have a storefront. And so that was either a make or break if they didn't allow us to do that. So they first were like, "Oh, I like that idea, but send us a rendering, and we want to see what it's going to look like." So as you know, it was all red brick. Now it's the black and gray brick, and all painting and metal, and all brand new storefront. And everything.
Yeah, we even redid the landscaping out front, olive trees, and something to mock an Italian cypress, white roses, with things we had seen in those travels. Yeah, you guys had highlighted the just the condition of how expensive it is to operate a restaurant in Austin. Our dear friends that own Vespaio after 23 years just closed their shop on the 28th of February.
Spider House?
No, Vespaio.
Oh, okay.
the
Yes,
giant
They're
concept on
down and
Congress.
dripping.
Yeah, and while they've got that there, but
it's
that
not
store
the same.
was no, it's a different
never gonna
deal.
be the
But
same.
it was the real estate side of it.
Yes.
It's too expensive.
Congress
Exactly.
Avenue is like a whole new
Cover
rodeo
Rodeo
drive.
Yeah.
Rents are just through the roof.
It's insanity.
Well, and in
Insanity.
Austin,
It's,
there's over 5,000 restaurants in Austin.
Yeah.
People can eat like
It's
everywhere.
definitely a foodie town.
Super
no
foodie
It is a
town.
foodie town.
It really is.
But when you see somebody come in and make the investment that y'all have made, it's like y'all aren't going anywhere.
No, you're not going anywhere. You're
I
gonna
can
be
fall
fine.
in love with this place. I can make this my regular shop. I can be here, weekly.
Yeah,
and
it's so
I'm going to be
beautiful.
part of a family, and this is my community.
And we've had a lot of the social media people in and that kind of thing, and that it could be a little hair raising because you just don't know.
Yeah.
If you get on the wrong night and the whole deal. We've hit so many of them. And, we, again, because of the neighborhoods that surround us. And Mopac is literally first and Broadway. To get off there at 5th Street, you don't have to venture down in over the city where it's crowded. It costs you $15 to $20 to park.
Yeah.
You dine with us for up to 3 hours of free parking covered above us. We go through the whole spiel and everybody's like, and they go, did you say free parking?
Yes.
And little did we
Free
know
parking.
that the location and the parking was equally as critical.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
in that
In
venture.
our
That's so
March
funny on our March Madness.
bracket,
Yes.
like we had like 7 criteria, and
parking was
parking.
Was
parking.
number one?
No, it's
one
one
of
of
them.
them.
Oh,
One of the
yeah, one of the
criteria.
criteria.
Parking. We're ladies of a certain age, and we have ladies that we dine with, and they're like, am I going to have to flow? Like, they won't go to
Exactly, yeah.
flows because
Yeah.
of the parking, and
Believe
there's
me,
no
my
parking.
mom won't go downtown and eat if she has to worry about parking. It's just,
it's
it's
actually
discouraging a lot of
It's
times because
discouraging.
it's hard to find,
No.
right? Or it's very
Well,
expensive.
it's adding another $30 to your tab, and it's like,
Yeah, we would prefer you
definitely.
get a great dessert, another glass of wine.
Yes.
Smart.
And, when we look at that and it's so convenient, like you said, even if you're parking on the 3rd level, we have an elevator that's almost comes down at our
I mean,
front
it's
Agreed.
door.
directly above our restaurant,
Yeah.
so you can't beat that. It's not like you're walking a whole block or 2 blocks away to a parking garage or something.
and then you can walk down to Don's Depot.
Yeah.
And see
Go for a
Tammy.
little spin.
Yeah.
See Tammy, the best bartender we know.
One of them.
She's been there a little bit.
She's been
there.
there.
She's
a
the
little bit.
best. She's
She
the
knows,
best.
though. She'll be like, Jody needs a Miller Lite.
She's got
She
your name.
knows.
She's like,
I love
okay,
Tammy so much.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the first time we went to your restaurant, well, the first time I went, Shelly had already been there. You had
times.
this incredible waitress. I think her name's like, it starts with an M, but I don't remember. But
Marilyn?
Marilyn, yes.
Yes.
She's
Marilyn.
We like to refer to her as one of the leaders. And
What I loved about her is her recommendations were incredible. She knew that
was very
menu.
mindful.
She wasn't a hover. She came in and checked on you. She did it exactly right. So much of a restaurant is that front facing, like your hostesses are they're so welcoming. They make you just feel like you're coming in like for a big hug.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do stop, drop, and roll for you. So you guys, like, if you need a job and you want to work for an amazing restaurant,
Yeah,
Moderna,
if you
they're going to
love
put you through the paces because you've got to be top notch. But
Yeah.
she was incredible. I loved her.
Yes, from
Great. We
from
love to
day
hear that.
one,
Yeah.
Day
she
one.
was a real example. And as you try to build that culture and staff, Mike statistically knew no matter what you hire in the beginning, you're going to lose X percentage of it, what you really work hard for. And we're noticing lately, we probably got 5, 6 of them on the team now. And, a lot of them too have had great experience, and they're not necessarily in fast food or fine dining. They're built to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they come in, their questions are extremely smart. And like you said, they know how not to hover, and they know when to be there when they need to be there. So, she's now. When you said M, I go. I know who she's talking.
She was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, super.
She was so great. She it's like she's reading you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to need another cocktail. Let me get over there real quick.
We'll let you know she sells
She's a
more,
professional.
better
Yeah.
wine in our shop than anybody else.
She knew her wine.
Incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
She knew her wine.
Yeah.
And we have to shout out Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Patrick is he is just the personality. Patrick has actually worked for Mike for a considerable time,
Nice.
and Mike said, "I got somebody for the team.
Okay.
He needs to come with us,"
I
and
love
he
that.
wanted to make that jump.
Good.
He understands the store from the side that nobody ever sees, like nobody else. Yet he can turn that face on. He comes around the corner, and he knows how to handle those customers.
Yes.
So we're very excited about having Patrick
And
on the team.
egoless.
That's great.
Oh.
No ego. He's like, let's get
that's
the
what
job
you need
done.
in a restaurant, right?
He's a soldier.
He's a soldier.
Yeah, to your point, people
soldier.
look at Mike and I know, man, well, all the success you guys have had, you just sit back and have a cocktail at the bar and run it from there. I'm like, it's not how we're built.
That's not how it is.
The reason that you say our story is good, and it is the passion. It's the passion to do it right. Passion. And Mike likes to and he will tell you every day that, you got to do right, and you got to do it the right way, or you can't expect your team members to be the same way. So,
Okay, I want to ask you this. So we've talked to Coach Jimmy from UT Baseball. We've talked to different people that are just as passionate about their love. But how do you relax? How do you unwind? I can tell you definitely work out. Mike works out.
I think you've been to a gym.
No secret. I'm getting back. I got back. Finally 5 times. The last year now. Yeah. But I would say, what we do unwind is, I would say the only way I could shut it off, it's hard for me to shut it off. If we're pretty much 7 days a week doing something, but I got my other restaurants that I'm obviously overseeing, and I do some construction development too, housing. So I wear a lot of hats, and it's pretty much 7 days a week. The only way I could do is get out of town and travel. So love travel, love traveling when we can. Got to go to Mexico City for Valentine's Day. My wife made me. It wasn't a choice. And so we did a little quick weekend getaway. But that's, and I enjoy working out, and I ride motorcycles. I haven't had time to ride motorcycles lately just because of the schedule. But you have to find that time and the balance. It's tough. It's not for everybody. Definitely, I have a wonderful wife, and I have a 25-year-old son, and try to always make time for them and show them that they're important. But they're very understanding. They knew what they were signing up for, I guess. My son's seen to me, he's like, has no interest. I'm like, hey buddy, you gonna take over this someday? No, Dad. I'm like, you work too much, you're always stressed out. No. So he's into music and real estate, so that's his passion. And so he's a great musician and everything. So and very proud of him. He's a great kid. So just have the one, and my wife is an esthetician, so she works in a medical place.
Does she do?
She does all that. Anything with laser, facials, and all those things.
Do you let her practice on you?
Not as much as I want. I love it because I do love that stuff. I'm a spa guy for sure. When I travel, I'm in the spa. I can promise you. I'm
that's lovely.
That's how I want to be.
Yeah, I wish I need more of those perks. But it's the time thing. But it's funny. I don't.
What's your wife's name?
Tina.
Tina, and your son?
McCade.
McCade.
Yeah, M-I-K-A-D. A little different.
Lovely name.
Yeah.
Well, I don't spend as much time in the gym as Mike. The joke is they see us at the shop, I go the before and the after. And so when we work it up, I spend a lot of time, my big, if you will, therapy in life. I love the outdoors.
Yes.
Fishing, harvesting, hunting. I've been privileged enough to be around a lot of beautiful nature. Friends that have leases and things, so I spend a lot of time there when I can get there. And I back Mike up on the travel thing. I got a better half of 17 years, and she can put together a package to travel like nobody in the world. She used to travel
I'm
on
going to tell you, in my next marriage, I just really want somebody who's really good at putting together a travel.
I raise your hand, I go, you have the number one priority. Mike will laugh at me and go, wait, you went to Italy.
Yes.
Flew business class, went here, went there, went this, went that, and you had a stopover somewhere, and it was all one flight. And my joke is, I'm like Rain Man. I just get on the plane and she points, and I go, "Oh, great! I'm sitting up front again."
I love that.
But she has kind of learned that. She laughed at me. My first trip to Europe was on a Contiki bus. And I traveled to all the big spots. And, I thought I was a warrior, where this girl was living on a school teacher's salary in both Madrid and Barcelona, and traveled the world. And so by the time I can't read the languages.
Like, you only have one stamp.
Yeah.
She's like, you only have one stamp
on your passport.
She was when she had to replace hers. She was willing to pay money to get it back because it was beaten and torn, from everything.
Beautiful.
But yeah, when we first started this, I mean, I'd seen the big cities in Italy, Rome, and Venice. I'd actually been to Siena, which was cool.
Yeah.
But she just kind of started shaking her head, and she goes, "We got to get into Naples, and we got to go to the capital, Sorrento, Salerno," and we kind of tied that in with Christmas markets. We got to leave the country every year if we can over Thanksgiving, because it is dirt cheap to go abroad. Yes. Nobody's flying over there, and we get to see things in the off season, so things aren't as big. Italy has just begun to come overrun with people. It's the most popular tourist spot.
Well, because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. But we
rightfully so.
We did Naples and, the pizza thing. And, of course, Leo knew half the city. So you would walk in and, Leo. You get him on the phone. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And the limoncello, I had to experience that, the Amalfi. But last year we did Bologna, because Leo said it is the bread basket of Italy. If you want to learn more about the Parmigiano Reggiano, the prosciutto, all of that, you go to these places and you realize, you think we're passionate. These people have done it for generations in the family.
It's in their blood.
Yeah. It is. And when they see you have the passion for that, I've been invited into kitchens where people are looking, going, I've been a local here for 40 years. How is the little guy getting in? Because I had known Leo, and they explained that Chris and Mike are passionate about this. They want to understand why the logs go in like this and how the dough is spread. I always laugh. Everybody goes, it's just opening pizza dough. I go, till you put your hands on it for the first time. And, we got our firsthand experience when we watched James Brown and Leo make dough for the first time. We were sharing limoncello with James's wife, and nobody could hear a mixer go off. And we're like, are they going to take us out? And we go out there, and Leo's just making dough on a marble countertop by hand. And James's eyeballs are like this big. So I'm like, this guy's pretty legit, And we've learned more about the craft, as we go forward with it. But now our practice is, we hear these kind of compliments all the time, and we love you for it.
Yeah.
That we consistently want to deliver that product and that experience out of Moderna every time you come to our store.
Absolutely. Tell me again, where's Leo from originally? Or where do y'all fly him in from?
Well, the funny story is, Leo was actually, and he'll tell you, he was conceived in Italy.
Oh, nice.
His mother got her papers to come to the United States when she was 4 months pregnant. Flew. They had family in Chicago. He still lives in Chicago. He was born there. Didn't really speak fluent English until he was 5. He got somebody called from the school, and Auntie dragged him down by the ear, and he learned to speak English real quick. Never thought he'd end up, in the pizza world, because, of course, he knew everybody in it. He wanted to be a butcher. Leo's got ink up and down his arms, and it all follows a story. But he laughs. He goes, they draw me back in. And when you see him for the first time, as we did in Las Vegas, and we're like, listen to this guy. No arrogance. To be at the level that he's at, it could easily be, don't talk to anybody, the whole deal. He speaks with everyone.
Right. He came to our table when we took Bob for his birthday there, and he was so kind.
Yeah. And you can ask him any question about, some of it gets a bit mechanical. I don't really know 68 versus 72 versus 42 hydration. I just know that what he developed is one of the best doughs in the world. It's extremely unique. It has his name tied to it. Our name is actually in the book that's coming out in May.
I just ordered it, by the way.
Well, the joke was, he called us and go, well, we better get it open because it's in print now.
Pizza Love.
Yeah, so Pizza Love.
And we'll be doing the the book launch at Moderna in May.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So we'll be,
let us know.
Look for that.
Yeah, we'll
really
definitely
excited.
be there.
Yeah.
He'll be there to sign some books.
My husband loves cookbooks. He reads them like novels.
Wow, great.
Yeah, well, we were kind of interested because, he had spent so much time putting this together. So there is a little bit about his history. If I remember, there's like 100 recipes in it. And not to sound like Vince Vaughn, but his nonna His grandmother is the one that taught him the basics
Great movie.
of Italian.
Great
We were just laughing. I go, we can make a documentary just on Leo.
I agree.
He was trained by one of the top maestros in Venice and Naples.
Yeah.
He lived there 6 years learning the craft.
Wow,
He said that the entire program
he grew up, obviously, with
So y'all fly him in to make your
fly him
pizza.
in. So he's based out of Chicago.
Well, he
like
comes
you're
for
asking.
a couple of days.
Yeah, so
Right.
he comes in once a month. He's usually here for 4 days, 3 or 4 days, or 3 nights, 4 days. So we fly. He comes in once a month.
And he trains everybody.
He'll come in, train, or and just quality control and make sure. But we got
they're
right
ballers.
now. Yeah, so
They're
it's
straight up ballers.
And then our executive chef is a James Beard Award chef, Michael McNilly. He's from New York. His whole background is Italian scratch. So he's been doing this craft for a long time. So we're very pleased to have him on board as well. So he's our daily guy. And then Leo, is obviously instrumental with his dough recipes and what he did with our menu and everything. But we got our working guys are legit. He's the real deal. So he's, I'm surprised you haven't met him. He's like Leo. He's very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Loves talking about he's very passionate what he does. He'll break it down to the science of it.
Anthony Bourdain on he's like a juju bean in a bottle.
Rest in peace.
But Michael speaks with such passion, and you have to sit there and he will literally reach his hand into the refrigerator and start pulling out mushrooms and scallops. You want a risotto, and I'm like, wow, he's not even looking at a recipe guide. But he's not
pretentious. He'll be like, if there's something, if we're able to do it, we have the ingredients in our house, he'll make it for you.
I love that you have a team around you. That is not about
a bunch
ego.
Of artists.
It's all about the team. We always say that.
Yeah.
We're only as good as our people, and we really believe in our people and inspiring them, lift them up. And we can't do all the job. There's only so much hours in the day and so much that's go around. So we really depend on our people and our team members and make it a family, really creating that culture. That's really important.
Yeah, to your point, the back of our T-shirts for the guys in the back, we didn't want to put crew. We didn't want to put member. We put family.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love this,
and when you talk about coming through the back door to pick up your pizza, you come up the staircase and you look to the left, and we have 2 doors with the windows in them.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally in the kitchen.
You are.
And in Italy, when you're invited into one's kitchen, you're invited into their home.
You guys.
So that's the vibe and the feel that we wanted. And it will never change.
Invited into the kitchen.
Where is somebody's home?
Our family.
Your family now.
Yes.
Well,
Put you like it or not.
But I have to say,
incredible.
I'm so grateful that y'all brought this to Austin.
Yes, thank you for creating what we needed.
I love Chicago. I love being in Chicago. And it does feel a little mobstery, which I kind of like.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Not the murdery way.
Not the murdery way.
Just the pizza way.
Just the pizza way.
The food way. Forget about everything else. Forget about it.
Well, thank you for coming all the way north of the river and west. And we will be at Moderna. So if you have not come to Moderna and you have not enjoyed this, put it on your list. It's on our bracket. You have to go. It is a must. The food is delish. You will do all your celebrations there.
Yes.
I mean, before you know it, it's going to be graduation season.
Yeah.
This is a great time to do that. Anyway,
we
love you guys.
You got us some NIL money?
NIL money.
That's what I had heard. I went, NIL money. And looking at Patrick, I go, you really do know these girls.
Yeah.
So I was laughing. So, if that's what we're calling it, if you have someone very, very
we
special.
call it. We like the baseball and the football.
We give it to our listeners.
Yeah, we give it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
anyway.
send one of those beautiful people, so that they too can experience the Moderna deal.
Oh, no. We want it. We want them. Yeah.
We will not
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
I appreciate it. Enjoyed it. It was fun.
Anytime, whenever you want to do. And we could do it virtually too, but thank you for coming all this way to the
Come
studio.
plug your businesses.
Yeah.
All your restaurants.
Yeah.
Come check us out. You won't be disappointed.
You
No
will
way.
not be
Go to
disappointed.
Moderna. And if you want to meet us there.
I want one of those limoncello with that drink.
Leticia
you
had
can actually
one.
purchase a bottle and take it home. Too.
Yeah, that's what Leticia. Leticia was. She raved
after the
about it. She
pandemic, when
posted
they
it.
started
You learned
allowing
that, right?
margaritas to go in a cup, we had a
Thank you,
little
La
finagling to
Pisana.
do, but we do the same thing because we said our pride and joy would be have one of our pizza boxes on your bottom shelf in the refrigerator and one bottle of limoncello so that you will always have something to remember us by and enjoy as a digestivo when you have any meal. So
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Bravo, y'all.
Thank you.
Bravo, y'all.
All right. Texas.
Yeehaw.